Okay, I'm going to do another example of analyzing motion from a position versus time graph. Position versus time graph or displacement versus time graph, they're the same thing. On the blue sheets that we did for notes today, the displacement versus time graph or position. And on the back, I'm going to do this example right here, second column, second row. Okay, so a position versus time is the same thing as a displacement versus time graph, and that's the first thing I need to write down because it makes a difference what kind of graph I'm looking at. So I see that this is a D versus T graph, and the D starts me off with don't sleep in class. Sleep is the slope, class is curve. And this is what I'm going to look at to figure out whether my velocities and accelerations are positive, negative, or zero. This top one is going to tell me about velocity. It's the first thing that we learned. And so it's the first in the chart, and this bottom part will tell me about acceleration. Okay, so let's look at the slope. There is multiple slopes here. I can't look at just one, but there are two ways you can look at this. If you look at from here to here, the entire graph itself is decreasing. Like the graph goes from the upper left-hand corner down to the right-hand corner. This is a slope, negative slope. So you can kind of look at it as connecting the dots between the two parts of a curve, and it shows you that this is going down. That's a negative slope. You can also look at all the individual slopes. Those are the tangent lines. So if I drew a bunch of lines tangent to this curve, every single one of these lines, even though it's changing the slope, all of them are negative. Okay, so all the slopes here are negative. And for a distance versus time graph, that means my velocity. That's why it's here in this part of the chart. So my velocity is negative. And just like before, if my velocity is negative, that means it's moving backwards or down. Now I get to look at the curve. So the curve is either part of a bowl, like this, and that is up like a bowl. And up, so you hold your fingers like this, up like a bowl is positive, because remember, up is positive, positive acceleration. Okay, so the curve is up like a bowl, which means acceleration is positive because up is positive. And then I look at these two together, and because I have opposite signs, one of them is positive, one is negative, that means that it is slowing down. So this object is moving backwards and slowing down.